Then you have Blake fucking Lively showing up with her spray tan and her boobs propped up.
Are you Team Blake or Team Jess? He said, I don't with Gail.
It ends with us.
An alleged retaliatory public smear campaign to destroy her reputation.
Dueling lawsuits between the stars Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago.
The legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has escalated, with Baldoni's team now accusing Lively of dishonesty in her latest complaint. What started as a professional dispute during It Ends With Us production has turned into a fierce legal war marked by lawsuits, leaked documents, and public clashes. Baldoni's team is firing back, alleging fabrications and manipulations in Lively's amended complaint, refusing to hold back as tensions reach new heights in this high-profile Hollywood showdown.
In Blake's complaint, she alleged that before the movie even began filming, Justin inserted improvised, gratuitous, intimate content and or scenes involving lack of clothing, we're just going to say it all like that, okay, that included an underage character in a highly unsettling ways. Now remember, he's the main character and he's the producer. So she's saying now that they're getting ready to start filming, now he's inserting all these like inappropriate scenes that she's saying she didn't know about before. She says that this disturbing conduct allegedly continued on while filming as well.
Blake Lively insists she's standing up for herself and others who felt uncomfortable on set, but Justin Baldoni's legal team claims her allegations are exaggerated and aimed at damaging his reputation. With millions at stake and careers on the line, neither side is backing down. So, what is Baldoni's team saying, and how is Blake's camp responding? Let's break down the latest twists in this high-stakes Hollywood feud as both sides battle over explosive accusations.
As mentioned in her original complaint, the amended lawsuit alleges that after Lively claims she first reported a concern about Baldoni's behavior in 2023, another female cast member reported her own concern regarding Mrs. Baldoni and welcome behavior to a representative for Sony and another one of the film producers. After Sony rep shared the concern with Baldoni, responded to the female cast member in writing, acknowledging that he was aware of her concern and that adjustment would be made, the complaint states.
In a dramatic twist, both legal teams have filed competing documents, each accusing the other of distorting the truth. Baldoni's team has taken an aggressive stance, alleging that Lively's complaint is filled with falsehoods and crafted to manipulate public perception. They argue her claims of on-set misconduct are exaggerated and lack credible evidence. This escalating legal war has only widened the divide between the two stars, fueling public debate as fans take sides in what has become an increasingly intense and high-profile battle.
The marketing guru and Justin Baldoni have kept us and the judge in their consolidated federal case very busy. Hello, my friend, Perez Hilton here, the original influencer and your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. It was a holiday weekend in the United States, President's Day, but the lawyers for these two did not take the holiday off. Remember last week I told you that Taylor Swift's former bestie filed a lot of subpoenas against Justin Baldoni, publicist, crisis PR expert, billionaire co-founder of his company, against a cell phone provider, email provider, and she wanted not just call logs, she wanted emails, she wanted locations of where people were when they were sending calls and texts and emails. Now, I'm going to catch you up where we left off last. After the wife of Alanis Morissette's former fiancé filed her subpoenas, Baldoni's legal team objected vigorously to the judge. Then, on Saturday, February 15th, lawyers for the Nepo baby sent Judge Lyman a new letter. Lawyers for the hair care professional allege that they are only seeking non-content data, such as call logs.
Adding another layer to the drama, Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, made a surprise appearance at the SNL 50th anniversary special. While meant to be lighthearted, critics argue the timing was poor amid Lively's ongoing legal battle. Baldoni's team sees it as a distraction tactic, while media analysts suggest it only intensified public scrutiny. What was likely intended to protect their image may now be backfiring, as the high-profile lawsuit overshadows their public moves, fueling even more controversy.
Then you have Blake fucking Lively showing up with her spray tan and her boobs propped up. Blake's just like, hello everyone. Khaleesi's here. I'm here with my dragon. Our life is perfect. Nothing's wrong. Basically saying, no fucks given. Yes, I am currently trying to ruin my co-worker's life and career. Hello?
Brandon Sklenar, a co-star in It Ends With Us, was recently asked which side he supports in the legal battle. While he tried to stay neutral, his comments hinted at on-set tensions during production. The growing divide within the cast raises questions about how widespread the issues were and whether Blake Lively's claims have merit. This rift extends beyond the legal teams, straining both personal and professional relationships among the film's crew, further complicating an already intense and highly publicized dispute.
But are you Team Blake or Team Justin? He said, I don't with Gail.
Team It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us star Brandon Sklenar playing Switzerland when it comes to the drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
It's unfortunate that things get taken away from what the ethos of that thing is, and it gets convoluted, and I just want to remind people of why that thing
I get
is in the
that.
first place.
Heartless.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
She has a really amazing ability to make people feel really comfortable.
Brandon, who played Blake's love interest in the film, now weighing in on the she said, he said legal battle between his former co-stars on CBS Mornings.
It doesn't involve you, but because you're in the cast, I'm wondering what you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want people to remember why we made the movie in the first place and what it stands for.
I would imagine at this point you're Bennett. You said I'm not in it, but are you Team Blake or Team Justin? He said, I don't with Gail.
Team It Ends With Us.
Meanwhile, Team Blake made their first public appearance over the weekend at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special. Ryan Reynolds attempting to bring some comic relief to his wife's ongoing lawsuit.
Oh, hey, that's no good. How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
What began as private disagreements during filming has exploded into lawsuits, leaked documents, and public character attacks. Legal experts warn that the hostility between both camps could have lasting repercussions on their careers. Baldoni's team argues that Lively's decision to take the dispute public was reckless, causing unnecessary harm to the project. As tensions continue to rise, observers wonder if there's any hope for resolution or if this bitter legal battle will drag on for years, leaving both stars' reputations at risk.
Harassment and alleged retaliatory public smear campaign to destroy her reputation. Oh my gosh, y'all. When you hear that at first, you think, okay. And then when you get into it, you're like, this is a roller coaster. Okay, Justin Baldoni, he starred in the movie with Blake, and he also directed and produced it. So you got one man who was the director, the producer, and the lead star. I don't know how you wear that many hats, keep it all together and keep it fair and stay in character and all of that, but nevertheless, that's what he did. Now, Blake is claiming that Justin exhibited very disturbing and unprofessional behavior on set that led to a hostile work environment. The claim was also filed against producer Jamie Heath. Jamie and Justin's production company, Wayfarer Studios, as well as its co-founder Steve, as well as two women named Melissa and Jennifer.
In a shocking turn, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have filed lawsuits against each other. Lively's suit alleges misconduct and boundary violations, while Baldoni's countersuit accuses her of defamation and misrepresentation. His legal team argues her claims are baseless and meant to damage his reputation. With millions at stake and their public images on the line, this legal battle is turning into a high-stakes Hollywood showdown.
Dueling lawsuits between the stars Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't necessarily plan to do a follow-up, but there have been so many twists and turns in the story, and as I said in the first video, I'm not here necessarily to talk about gossip. There is so much of this case that involves the production side of Hollywood, the industry side of Hollywood, and as someone who covers the entertainment industry, I felt like there was enough about that to warrant a second video. If you want a primer on how all of this began, then I suggest that you watch my first video on this, which you can find up there at the link above. Just before the new year, on New Year's Eve, Justin Baldoni filed a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times.
Blake Lively's amended complaint alleges that other women on set felt uncomfortable during filming. However, Justin Baldoni's legal team insists no formal complaints were filed, accusing her of fabricating claims to bolster her case. This response casts doubt on the validity of Blake's allegations, leaving many questioning whether they point to widespread issues or are merely isolated incidents in an escalating legal battle.
Blake Lively, an amended complaint, claims Justin Baldoni made other women uncomfortable on set. Can corroborate. Man, already this headline just pisses me off because seems like, what does it mean? Make you feel uncomfortable, right? What does it mean? All of a sudden now we have to put in the spectrum of harassment, of serious stuff, words like uncomfortable. Well, you gotta make up your mind. I want to know what we're talking about here. It made you feel uncomfortable because he wasn't friendly on the set, right? Because it didn't make you feel like the queen of the castle or something. This type of stuff is really getting out of hand. And it feels like it's not 2016 anymore. You know, the fake Me Too movement is not working.
In a bid to strengthen her case, Blake Lively's team leaked alleged HR complaints filed with Sony against Justin Baldoni. While it seemed like a breakthrough, Baldoni's representatives argue the documents were taken out of context and never led to formal disciplinary action. Whether this move helps or harms Blake's case remains uncertain, but it has undeniably intensified the legal battle, adding even more fuel to the fire.
Guys, we are still days away from Blake Lively's amended complaint. But did she just leak her smoking gun to the internet? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signar, and my goodness, I've been getting sent this all weekend, so much so that I realized I got to make a video to address it. Because, look, I'm not buying it yet. I'm not buying this. However, if this proves to be true, and this is, in fact, included in Blake's complaint, well, then Justin's going to have some explaining to do. But I wanted to break it down because so many of you guys are sharing it now. It's been sent to me a bunch. I see other people that I admire and respect starting to report on it. It'd be pretty shady that this came forward. So it's another reason why I'm confused why this would even come out. If she's secretly leaking this and try to maybe you guys see this is why you're not believing Blake. So let's just summary. Complaint says she was uncomfortable with Justin yesterday while filming. She states Baldoni put his bare hands on her derriere and said he was trying to help with her posture. Complaint immediately voiced her displeasure with this and said, he said apparently, "It's fine. I'm totally hot for my wife." Now, if he said that was his justification.
Legal analysts highlight a critical error in Blake Lively's amended complaint that could cost her millions. By allegedly omitting key text messages, she may have undermined her credibility in court. Baldoni's team insists the omission was deliberate, while Lively's side calls it a clerical mistake. Regardless of intent, the potential financial fallout from this misstep could have serious consequences for Blake's legal battle.
Now, if you want more background on the story, I have already put out 2 videos on the subject. One of them is a little bit more of a how we got here kind of video, and then also analyzes some of the behind the scenes footage that Baldoni's team released to the public to see how it actually impacts the claims involved. Then the other one talks about Blake Lively's seeming attempt to get us being deposed. If you are interested in either of those, links to both are in the description below, as well as to a new playlist for all of these videos to link them all together. Okay, so with all of that, I'm going to do a bit of a deep dive into the litigation privilege in this video here. First, I want to do a quick overview of Jed Wallace's lawsuits so everyone is kind of on the same page here. Last week, it was reported that Blake Lively was being sued again, this time by Jed Wallace, who, like I said, owns the crisis PR firm Street Relations, Inc.
Experts analyzing Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's body language have noted subtle cues of deep-seated animosity, from defensive gestures to forced smiles. Their interactions suggest the feud may have been simmering long before it became public. Fans are now revisiting old footage, searching for early signs of tension that may have hinted at this escalating battle.
There are a mess of lawsuits flying around in the aftermath of the movie It Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Lively started with a complaint, then a lawsuit against Baldoni as well as Wayfarer Studios for a list of things including harassment and retaliation. Baldoni responded with a $250 million libel lawsuit against the New York Times, who he claims cowards to the wants and whims of Blake Lively and published an incomplete and out-of-context story of the events that happened on set. Now, I've been getting a lot of requests to cover this topic, and because it's a very sensitive topic and there are a lot of accusations going back and forth, I have to be very selective, because to do what I do, I need to see footage of the involved individuals talking about these topics. Not texts, not written statements, not their lawyers talking about it. I need to see footage of them addressing these things.
Many are wondering why Blake Lively chose to amend her lawsuit instead of sticking to the original filing. Justin Baldoni's team claims the amendment is a desperate attempt to add new allegations after the initial complaint failed to make an impact. However, Blake's legal team argues that the revised filing strengthens her case with additional details and testimonies. Whether this strategic move will work in her favor or ultimately backfire remains one of the biggest uncertainties in this high-profile legal battle.
This amended complaint, which Blake Lively filed, her legal team did, last night at 11:59 p.m. All right. This is their amended complaint now against Justin. Remember, they asked for the date of March 5th to get this in. The judge said, no, get this to me right after President's Day weekend. Here are the bullet points of what's inside. They allege Mr. Baldoni's social combat plan, which I've never heard of before. This is an SCP, a social combat plan, has resulted in the viral spread of hateful, threatening, and derogatory harassment and cyberbullying, and that the environment is a culture of fear and intimidation is extremely dangerous. That's what they're saying right now.
With Justin Baldoni's team openly accusing Blake Lively of dishonesty, their legal battle has hit a boiling point. Both sides are locked in a war of serious allegations, with lawsuits filed and reputations at stake. Baldoni's camp claims Blake's accusations are fabricated and strategically timed, while she insists she's standing up against mistreatment. As the drama unfolds, the public remains captivated by every new twist in this high-stakes feud.
Is Blake corresponding with, I believe, step and repeat, the black carpet worker, asking them to move along, whatever, and the way she's being extremely nice, because on past red carpet, she's very cold and entitled and arrogant to the individuals who are supposed to move them down so different press outlets can get photos of them. But what it's really giving from her is sort of similar to what went down with Leah Michelle after her quote-unquote scandalation, everything that came out about her on the Glee set, and the way she was acting when she premiered Funny Girl, how she was corresponding in interviews, on red carpet. She was being nicer than we've ever seen her be before. We all know why. It's so obvious. I don't have to get into that, but I just think very, very interesting. Also, that clip of him talking to Amy Poehler in that sketch, Amy and Tina, he's nervous as hell. And her face, it's like...
As legal experts analyze the case and new details emerge, the outcome remains uncertain. Will Blake Lively's amended complaint withstand scrutiny, Or will Justin Baldoni's aggressive pushback expose weaknesses in her claims? One thing is certain. This feud is far from over, and the fallout could be career-defining for both stars. With millions at stake and reputations hanging in the balance, the next court hearing is expected to be explosive. Fans are bracing for what could be the most dramatic and revealing chapter yet in this high-stakes Hollywood showdown.